Good morning, everyone. Don't mind me. Just checking out my fur with my greasy hair. I thought this would be the ultimate test to see how cozy it was coming outside in my pajamas in it. I can still smell it. I need to get some Febreze today. Woo! But obsessed. Anyway, I haven't done this in forever, but I'm going to do a Saturday morning garden tour with you, showing you the good, the bad, and mostly the ugly, because there is a lot of crap lying around everywhere, to be honest. And yeah, I'm going to talk you through what is going on and what my jobs are for today, because it is bulb planting today in this garden. I might even rope Harvin to help. Luckily, Ben's going to be at football, so I won't have him interfering. So yeah, we will see. Right, so this area here, let's start here. What an absolute, I'm not even going to say the word, but it's really messy. It needs a clean up, it needs a bit of love. My busy lizzies are still looking amazing. I think they're quite sheltered over here, so they're quite happy, but this whole area just needs a really good cleaning, tidying, sprucing, but that is not on the agenda for today. I think because the scaffolding's still here, hopefully that is going to come down before Christmas, but sometimes you just have to wait, don't you? It's not like you can just ring up on company and say, can you get it down today? Anyway, so that'll be gone soon, and then I feel like I can get things looking nice again. I feel like I need to polish all the leaves and make them look happy again. And in here, these are coming out today. This is my blue lollipop primula, which are going in my spring display, so I'll show you where they're going to go. They're looking fine, actually. They've grown quite a bit since I planted them in there. I've got a little bit of concrete on them. They don't mind. And I've decided that for these two planters either side of the water feature, that I'm going to put, I think actually maybe the lime green fern that I love. I think either a fern or a grass or something that's just going to stay in there, because I think you have to pick your battles in a garden, and much as I love having a splash of colour, these busy lizzies, they weren't cheap. They were the XXXL jumbo lilac ones that I had been desperate for since I saw them on a roundabout last year, and I was really disappointed because they didn't even start to flower till like September. Got all the new growth at the base. If I can find enough houseplant pots, I'm going to put some more of these up. I have potted one up already because I can't bear to lose them because they are really expensive. But anyway, something lower maintenance, like a fern, something green, something that's going to look amazing all the time. That is what is going to go there. So yeah. Then into the statue garden, obviously it's like leaves galore because of this wisteria, which is shedding by the hour. But then the borders all look okay. Lots of perennials in. I'm still debating about this rose. I'm not going to do anything this weekend, but I'm just feeling that maybe I should get rid of one. The curtains are still shut. All three boys decided to have a sleepover in the living room last night. Is that a boy thing? So yeah, I'm undecided about the rose. Anyway, the borders I've planted up with all like new perennials in place. I've just got to lift those Dutch iris, bearded iris a little bit higher, but that isn't on my agenda for this weekend. That's not a desperate job. And what you might notice in your borders, which I definitely can see, are lots of bulbs poking their little heads up. This will be last year's bulbs. But yeah, I'm pleased with the position of everything. Now these ferns look really messy. Oh, hi Darcy, come in to have a look. But I didn't cut any foliage down. I've just planted them. I'm going to really heavily mulch the base of those ferns because I don't want to lose them in any frost. But hopefully by the spring they will have rooted and their new fronds will open and I'll get that lovely vibrant green growth, because all of this growth that you can see now would be chopped off anyway. You can see all of the fronds. A bit closer up and I'll show you. Can you see them all curled up? So that is all the new growth for next year. So I want to protect that, make sure that it's definitely going to come back. Bare root rose, this one is for a pot. I'll try and get that potted up at the weekend. And then, yeah, I've already rejigged all of the perennials in this border. I don't think I've got anything else to put out this autumn. It's just a case of getting the bulbs in. You'll see I've got lots of anemones waking up. This is a ranunculus waking up. More anemones. So naturally, everything is just doing its thing. I've got a lot of new growth on my perennials. I think we've had such a mild autumn, everything's a bit confused. That's an honesty. Look at all these forget-me-nots self-seeded in the gravel. I'm lifting all of those up and putting them in my spring display. I've also noticed that my origeron that I grew from seed didn't flower all summer, but it's decided to flower now. So that is, I kind of wanted it to like waft and be an edge of the path. Then nothing much happening here. I planted the new rose in this week, so that's Mary Delaney, so she's in. And then I've obviously got my huge bag of mulch which will be going down, but that's for after the bulbs. So I get my bulbs in, then mulch is my final thing. So I've had a lot of questions about what do you do when you've got areas of seedlings. Do you just mulch over it? So you can very carefully mulch around them, but yeah, I mean, do I need 60 nigella growing there? Not really. So yeah, I will be really careful. I mean, you could try and pluck them out and move them, but yeah, so the mulch will be going down at some point, but that is not a job for this weekend. God, the anemones, they're just popping up everywhere. That's why I love them so much. Anemones are just such a better investment than tulips. And then this border is looking okay. Might put a few tulips in there. Yeah, maybe. And I've also noticed, because I keep standing on them, bulbs from last year starting to come out the gravel. So I had some Dutch iris and something else. There was something I trod on over here as well. Can't remember what they are. I think they might be an iris maybe. And then no doubt soon the bluebells will start shooting through the gravel, so I can never get rid of bluebells. And they are the invasive ones. I didn't plant them. So yeah, that's a bit annoying. Ooh, I forgot about, I do need to move this. This is my Chinese foxglove. I absolutely love this plant, and I thought I'd lost it, but it randomly appeared here, and it's just doesn't get enough light. I need to dig that up and move that. I maybe do that today. Anyway, then that little corner is basically just a storing, dumping area at the moment. I've got a hydrangea that I need to put in the container garden. That's the like multi-tonal purple one that I bought from, can't remember, Home Bargains. But yeah, all of this is about to lose its leaves. So yeah, that's not an area that's being used at the minute. Then over here, I've started to collect a load of plants that are going in my new border behind the kids' swimming pool. Obviously the swimming pool that's not there. So I've got Alchemilla mollis, Nepeta. I'm going to divide some geranium. And then that I've decided is going to be wafty blue-green lush. I've also got 2 more Deschampsia grasses, which I may include in there. I've also got this hamel grass, but just the thought of digging it out and then dividing it, I'm like, maybe it can just stay in that pot for another year, because I don't know if I can be bothered. This is the impatient that I put in a house pot plant. So that is going to come indoors and hopefully flower for the rest of the year. Right, so that's this area really. Ferns. Right, now then this is when things start to get really messy, but it will look much better by the end of the weekend. So let's start in this corner. So do you remember the big eucalyptus tree? And I had a little bet going on with the boys. I said it was going to die. They said that it wasn't going to die, and they watered it every single day. It's definitely dead. So that needs to come out of that pot. And what did I think I was going to put in there? We've now got an olive tree that doesn't really have a home, so maybe the olive tree. Anyway, it's a big pot for a tree, so we'll see what's going to go in there. I then, oh yeah, I was gonna divide that ham elm grass and put one there because I feel like I needed to fill that gap. But actually that is how they go and get their football, so let's not worry about that now. This is the beautiful ham elm grass. You will see this in the garden centres right now. I have had this since it was a tiny 9cm grass, and I just divide them and they get bigger and better every year. They're just amazing. So yeah, to get more coverage, I literally just dig it. In fact, I could maybe dig that one, chop it in half and move a bit there. I just love it. I've got a basketball hoop there. It gets battered, but it always just stands back up. And then I have got GM in there as well, which, yeah, kind of cope all right with abuse. So that kind of works. That's the big GM that I do need to divide. I might try and divide that one, so that is that job. And then this is where Ben just wants to divorce me because I just leave all my stuff lying around, which I hate, but I just haven't had the time. But I'm making time today to clear this out and be really ruthless. Things like this shelving unit, I don't want that. I've had it in the garden for like 2 or 3 years and I don't use it. The shelves slope forward, which means it's not really great. So I think I just need to do a pile of stuff that I don't want and maybe take a picture and just see if anyone wants it, because yeah, you'll see what I mean. They sort of slope forward, so it's not great. That's a pile of rubbish. That is the lupin that just wants to live with me. I don't really like lupins, but it hasn't been eaten by pests. It hasn't died, it's just in a bucket. So I feel it needs to be in a container garden, so I need to find a good pot for it, get it potted up. This is just a pile of stuff, again, that I've just abused. So today is a ruthless day. This whole pot has got 2 little scabious, so I'm going to put the scabious, like take a cutting of them both and put them in a fresh pot, because that's taken up a whole pot and then I can get rid of that pot. These crocosmia need lifting and putting in that border. I will try and do that today. This little red lily needs chopping down and chucking in here really. Then this whole greenhouse is a project for another day. There's a lot of stuff going on in there. Mainly perennial stuff, maybe stuff I've neglected, but if you shut the door it looks quite tidy. A rose campion that needs to go in a pot. I've decided I'm just going to get rid of that ivy. Why do I just move a pot of ivy around? I don't really like it. Ben doesn't like it. It's just going to go. I'm not very good at being ruthless with things. These are muscari. I was too scared to plant them in the border, so I think I'm actually just going to put them in a pot, because this one's got something else in it too, daffodils I think. So yeah, I just need to find a pot, just like that pot over there that's got the scabious, and pick the whole clump up and put it in a pot, because I don't want to waste them. I may as well enjoy them. So that is what I'm going to do. Then yeah, this border just needs the crocosmia added, but everything's looking pretty good actually. I was really naughty and planted out some tiny seedlings, but they're absolutely thriving since they've gone in here. I did put clary sage out. I did put a few things in here that I do think Darcy's actually dug up, but I think they'll be happier out here than being neglected in the greenhouse. So yeah, I'm really pleased with this. Filled the whole border for nothing. So we'll see how that turns out. And I can't believe how much new growth I've got on things. So all the perennials that I put in, that I had divided, tons of growth, which is amazing. So I have absolutely no idea how this is going to look next year. I kind of wanted it to be colourful. Any colour goes, a bit wafty, a lot of variety. We'll see. If it works, it works. If it doesn't, it doesn't. Cabin. So this weekend, this is one of those things where hindsight is a wonderful thing. Look at me standing there in my fur coat. We have now decided that we wish we'd have put a damp-proof cause under the cabin. So basically, we're going to lift the 4 corners and get one under there. We tested it this week, that's why there's a bit of wood there. So Ben put his bar thing inside, he trod on it, it lifted it up, and then we could get it under. So we're going to lay the damp proof and then put the Celotex on. So we really, really want the floor to be the best it can be. So that's what we're going to do. That's the plan anyway. And then he's got to properly felt the roof, and then we can start painting, which is really exciting. Eventually there'll be a decking platform in front of it, so you open the doors like onto a little decking platform, we can have a couple of chairs. Yes, that'll be really nice. Right, a wheelbarrow of stuff. Now my garden bin was full, so that's why that's stayed in a wheelbarrow this week, but maybe my other one might be empty, I'll have a look. So all of that needs putting in the bin. And then see, Ben's doing football today, so I plan on ploughing through literally all of this. So there's dahlias in here that are done. So dahlias need to come out. I'm going to try and overwinter these osteospermum because I adore them so much and the plants are so big that I'm just going to cut them back a little bit, put them in the greenhouse, see what happens. So yeah, all of these plants down here need clearing. The canna need to go away. So if you've got canna lily or anything tropical, you'll notice that the leaves have started to go brown now. So all I'm going to do is cut them down to the soil level and put the pots in my garage, which is frost free. So I have no idea where they're going to go next year, but I'm not even going to worry about it. So I'm just going to cut them down, drag them in the garage, or you can put them anywhere, somewhere sheltered, add a layer of mulch, and that will protect them. And then hopefully they'll start to regrow next year. So that one's red, that one's mango, that one was a little cutting. And like I said, I don't really know where they're going to go, but let's not worry about that. I then also have a salvia problem because I just have so many and I don't know where to put them all. So I feel like I just want to give them away, so they can go in my pile that I'm going to take a picture of. And I think that's the thing. If I can, I'm pointing over there because I think I'm going to use the football goal area because it's clear. So I'm just going to gather everything that I don't want anymore and see if people want it. So yeah, that salvia is like a gorgeous, like tropical colour. Actually, that one I could squeeze in the border maybe because that's 2. But the pink salvia's out of there. Like, how many salvias does a girl need? I've just got so many. And now I've changed my mind for this border. I'm just not going to need them all. And I know what will happen. I'll just end up hoarding them and they'll just lie around in pots. I'm just going to get rid. I just have to be ruthless and have a word with myself. And if I change my mind, I'll buy some more next year. So, basically I'm going to clear that whole border. Not the salvia Amistad. I'm probably going to leave that. But I'm going to clear that border. I'm not going to plant my perennials in there yet because I really don't want to lose them. But I know what's going in there. So that's going to have the Alchemilla mollis, the Nepeta, the Geranium Roseanne, and then all of the lovely things that I'm growing. The Larkspur, Canterbury Bells, all of the purple, whitey gorgeousness. That's all going to go in there. And I think it wasn't until I had my live last night when I was chatting to my members and I was like, oh my God, sometimes I plan my garden without actually thinking about all the things I'm growing and where they're going to go. So yes, I've already got plans for next year. So things that are in there have got to come out because I haven't got anywhere to go. Then I've pre-made some holes in here because I was working out how many tulips were going to go in here. So that is ready to go. So once that's done, that'll be a really good job done. I've got dahlias that need to go into cardboard boxes. Quite a few dahlias. Again, geraniums, they can just go in my go pile. Like I can't keep everything. I've then got some pots to clear. There are loads of forget-me-nots. I'm going to add loads of forget-me-nots to this border. Again, last night when I was planning, I just want a frothy spring mass of gorgeousness. So this is going to have lots of variety and not just tulips. I'm going to do it differently this year. My body is so warm, I hadn't actually realised how cold my hands are. Look how cold my hands are. So that's how warm this coat is. Jesus, I can't even move my fingers. Right, Harvey's just asked me if he can have pancakes at the window, so luckily we're nearly at the end of this. So then all of this stuff in pots is fine. I haven't got to worry about it. It's done, and that's going to be in pots until the spring. And then I started gathering pots here, so I will work out what pots I'm going to use for tulips. But actually, when I went through my list of all the things I had last night, I actually think I'm only going to be doing 6 pots of tulips, because the rest of the things are going to be perennials and other stuff I've got. So the majority of the tulips are going to be in here, in that planter, in the planters by the cabin, and then yeah, just 6 pots of different heights, because I don't need the whole decking to be full of spring bulbs. I don't want that. So yeah, six little pots is fine. So I just need to decide what pots it's going to be, what heights I need, and it will be job done. So for example, like I've got that height, I've then obviously got like that height. These ones are a little bit bigger, so I just need to play around with what I've already got and work out the heights that I need for tulips, and that'll be fab. And then another thing that I'm going to be ruthless and get rid of is this metal plant stand. I bought it maybe 3 years ago. I personally don't have any small pots that fit on it. It just doesn't work for me. It doesn't fill me with joy, and I just move it around the garden. So I don't think it's very good. So yeah, it just doesn't work for me. I think I love looking at other people's plant theatres with little pots, but I think because I have so many big pots, it just doesn't work. It just doesn't work for me. So yeah, I can't remember how much I paid for it, £35 I think, but yeah, that is going to go in my go pile, because I can't. And then I've got random pots of seedlings, like just give the girl a dustbin. I just need to chuck stuff out. Those forget-me-nots will get planted out. And then all along here is just cuttings. That's Canterbury Bell. Cuttings of things, I'm just exploding with cuttings. More tubers. All of those things need planting up. And then, yeah, I'm coming to do pancakes now. I'm coming now. So yeah, today is just gonna be a day of being ruthless, like stop hoarding stuff. And I'm terrible. A plant is a living thing, and I think the thing with me is I love to change things up. I love the flexibility that a container garden gives me, that one year I can be like, right, I'm gonna have it purple, then the next year I'm like, give me all the hot colours. And when you grow stuff, it's not costing you a lot of money, but I then do end up with so many plants that I just don't know what to do with them. It's just not the right time of year to do a plant sale. Like, I don't really know if people would want plants. But if I take a picture of what I've got, put it all here, maybe I can put it on a local selling page. If any of you are local, just let me know. But I think I'll feel good for just getting rid, because there's only so much you can have. And yeah, like just, you know, I've got a pot there. I've got a big pot over there with some creeping Jenny, which is great, and I'll keep that there. But it's just got one random Verbena bonariensis in it. Like, I can't have a whole pot just for that. It just gets cluttered and congested, and it's not great. So yeah, she's going for it today. She's going to be ruthless. So that is my Saturday plan. What I actually get done is another thing, but sometimes you have to make plans, you have to be ruthless, and you just have to get on. And what I find is that if I'm not ruthless and I think, oh well, I might use that, you then end up just drowning in chaos, and I don't want that in the spring. And that was my big thing. In the spring, I don't want to be having stuff lying around. So yeah, let's be ruthless. Right, I'm going to go and make pancakes now with my freezing cold hands.